Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of Crypto Flip Podcast. I'm here with my co-hosts Ricardo and Deji, and this week we have a very interesting few crypto confessions, which are always the highlight of my week. So let's get straight into it. So the first one is I made a couple of million during the 2021 mania, and I told my whole family about it. I thought I was set for life and dropped out of college. I lost it all during the bear market because of my lack of awareness of market cycles, and I kept buying dips. I'm spending the last of my dollars putting on an act for my family. Too embarrassed to tell them I lost it all. I want to know what you guys think about this because I got some thoughts, but I'll let you guys go first. Who wants to take it?
Go for it, Deji.
Listen, just listen to that. Gave me some stress, fam. Gave me some PTSD because you obviously made a million. So obviously, congrats to him and that. But for you to, make the money, you quit uni or quit school, whatever it is, and then obviously when you quit school, you have nothing else but to manage this portfolio. Like you have full time, you don't have anything but to do that. So for you to like not be aware of market cycle, obviously anyone can make the mistake. I've made this mistake before back in 2017, but we'll talk about that later on. But I just think that's crazy. That is insane. Like
All right.
how can you not be aware of the market cycle when you have
But you
no
know,
other job but to
you
manage
know,
the portfolio?
you know what the maddest thing is? You know what? It's like winning the lottery. You see that if you when you win the lottery, like the person
Good
goes back
analogy.
to the situation they were in a couple months or in a couple years or whatever. It's the same, bro. Like
True.
basically, he bought something on a whim, got land with a couple million, and then it's just like, what do I do with this now? And he just thought I just do the same thing again and again. But yeah, I think that's easy to happen, man. Bro, that's definitely happened to me. I've held bags way longer than that. I'm still holding bags from like 2016.
We're all holding back to 2016, 2017. But my thing is, bro, is like he said he quit school because he feel like he made it. Cool. Why not cash out some of that portfolio into actual liquid cash so you
I
can
hear that.
actually do something with it, diversify into like actual, you know what I mean, like other assets or something. But yeah, man, that's
You know,
obviously sad. And then the whole like putting on a show for your family, I think that's even
Yeah,
sadder, bro. Like, come
yeah,
on, man, that's
100%,
sad,
100%.
no, that's real. I think the only thing is, for me, I can see that. I can see how that can happen, especially if it's your first, your first market cycle. Because when everything's going well in crypto, you feel like you're untouchable. You think like, yes, I'm the don, I'm the chosen one. You know what I'm saying? But it can flip in an instant, and then obviously in the bull market there can be dips, but you just buy the dip and you keep riding it out. But when it turns into a bear market, which isn't obviously obvious necessarily
Yeah,
at the beginning of it, you think, oh, okay, it's just a little market dip, it's gonna be back, and then it keeps going down, and then it keeps going down, and then you're ending up like him, losing a couple mil. Hopefully not though, because it's a hard lesson to learn.
very hard lesson. Very, very hard lesson, man.
But yeah, let's go on to the next one. The next one is very interesting. Let's see here. Okay, so bought into an unrevealed NFT project at their all-time high floor and joined an exclusive chat for 25 plus holders. Every week, the founder would say, aren't revealing this week. I kept borrowing against my holdings and buying more and more. Eventually, about 2 months later, I got completely liquidated and lost everything. Fast forward 6 months later, the art still isn't fully revealed. I blame no one but myself.
well, I guess the thing is, obviously, you have to take ownership of this massive L. But, bro, 6 months, like 2 months every week, the guy's like, it's not ready, it's not ready. I don't know, man. That just sounds like a rug pull. I don't, the sale, the pitch, it must have been done. He just got rug pulled, and it happens. It's a shame.
For me, yeah, where this guy made the ultimate mistake is borrowing against his own portfolio. I hate it when guys do this and they don't have no idea or no experience in doing it. They leverage against
Why
the
do you say it's a
portfolio. They
mistake?
borrow against because, like, dude, when you borrow against your portfolio, yeah, you have to be some sort of like advanced trader to know, cool. I know where my shorts are gonna be. I know where my longs gonna be, and then you plan accordingly. This guy was just like, yeah. It's gonna pull up. It's gonna come. It's gonna come up, and you kept making more and more mistakes. I just don't think that was the right decision to make. And obviously now he's gonna pay for it because, man, you've been liquidated. Binance ain't gonna give that back to you for sure. They don't do them things there, fam.
Yeah, I mean, liquidating. Borrowing against your account is I wouldn't say it's necessarily risky, but if you're borrowing against something with a future promise, then obviously you've increased the risk exponentially, because you're waiting for something that may or may not happen.
Especially NFT as well. NFT, what NFT project has been like a godsend? Like, what NFT can you compare to Ethereum, or can you compare to one of these better later ones? No,
There are.
NFT.
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. There's quite a few projects that have, like, made huge returns. Bought it Yacht Club at the high. There's quite a few on Solana as well. So yeah, there are projects. I wouldn't say there aren't. The only problem for me when it comes to NFTs is the way it's done is obviously they raise the money and then the reveal comes later. So you're kind of it's a bit like the old ICO model where you would invest and then you have to wait for it to launch. It might not launch, or if it launches, it might launch later on. So you're hedging like some risks there. But obviously now there isn't really that model. I mean, there's like IDOs and stuff like that, but they're a bit easier to get around.
His ultimate L here is you borrowing against a portfolio for this NFT that is obviously coming, but it never came. And for you to keep borrowing against a portfolio, which was probably a decent portfolio, I mean, a lot of people are trying to like get started in space. They don't even know how to do it. You already kind of like offer it in, you're doing your thing, and then for you to just sabotage yourself. I mean, sometimes you can't feel sorry for these guys. I mean, you just shoot yourself in the foot, and then at the end of the day, you just gotta learn from it, and obviously, hopefully, you bounce back stronger.
The baddest thing is though, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I feel sorry for these guys because at the end of the day, bro, if you don't know what you're doing and you have no knowledge behind it and you don't try to learn anything behind what you're doing, bro, it's gambling, and that's like one of the most addictive things you can do. Like, some people are probably just like, I'm just keep buying dips. But bro, some people wake up. I remember there was a point in my life where every morning I woke up, bro, and every day before I went to bed, I was like, let me check my portfolio. Okay, I'm up. That was it.
Like, used to be me as well.
Yeah, bro. If you get caught up in the cycle and that's all you're thinking about, yeah, man, it's super easy to just lose yourself.
Big facts. Let's move on to the last one. So this one's pretty interesting. Be interested to hear your thoughts in regards to this. So, a guy who pretended to be my friend at the start of my crypto career tried to fuck me the other day after my breakup and spent the entire week trying to sleep with me. After I turned him down, he stopped pretending to be my friend and effectively and actively tried to sabotage my job prospects in crypto. What are your thoughts there? It's a bit less of a crypto-related thing, but it's crypto-related nonetheless, and I thought it was quite funny.
You know what? This signifies. You see, the fact that it was a crypto and the market in crypto, like, a lot of people know each other, and if you're a crypto marketer or you're a crypto like developer, like, the pool is relatively small, and all these people because you worked at 2 or 3 places before, and those, like, loads of people that you worked with now work in other places, so you can be like, now, you know what? Let's assume her name is Sarah. Yeah, don't hire Sarah because she's rubbish. Like, I used to work with her, and people will go on that like easily. So I don't know. I feel like this just highlights like the nepotism in crypto to a certain degree. But yeah, man. Yeah, that's.
I mean, I have no words, like 0 words here, because and to be honest, like, I think it's like the guy is saying, the guy trying to screw him, and then eventually end up sabotaging him. I don't think you could be sabotaging this space. Just so many different avenues to make money. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's probably him being in his head, and You know what I mean? Every little L, oh, it's that guy sabotaging me. So I'm not too sure about this one. I'm not too sure about him still.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody's being extra nice to you and there's no relationship there, and you only know this guy because of X reason, like there's obviously that cliche that the spice of free lunch, you get nothing for free. So he might have helped you now, but let's believe that he's expecting his payback coming soon, and that was what he wanted in return. Obviously, you weren't feeling him like that, but he's like, okay, you ain't feeling me. You'll see how how you'll feel my wrath, and but he tried to play the power move. He showed his hand, and fortunately, he didn't see it coming. But it should just be a lesson that if you're going to be moving in these corporate markets, and I think it goes beyond just crypto. I think it's in any type of job market.
Absolutely.
That you should know who you can trust and who you can't trust. So it's a lesson. It's definitely a lesson. I'm sure she won't be making that mistake again.
Moral of the story is stay safe out there. You know what I mean?
Stay safe out there. She made the same mistake next time. Don't worry.
All right, so let's go into the big news of the week. So recently, Bitcoin plunged about 11% in the worst week since FTX's collapse. What do you think caused it, and where do you think things are going to go?
Ricardo?
Yeah, all right. I'll give my 2 cents. So 11%. To be honest, 11% to me, being through all these market cycles, kind of feels like, oh, cool, it's just a little bit down. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I get it, it's like 11% and it's quite a lot of money. I can't remember how much billions it was that was wiped off the market cap. But ultimately, 11% is a very small drop. And there's still loads of room to grow. But yeah, I feel like they're just reporting on this because it's been a while, 6 months plus that this has happened, last in November. But yeah, I reckon it's the ETF. But mostly, if SpaceX actually sold 20 billion dollars worth of Bitcoin, then that's obviously the reason. If you're selling all that Bitcoin, you're just gonna go through the order book and the price is just gonna go.
Exactly.
So obviously the ETF decisions are they're still pending, but if I had 200 million worth of Bitcoin right now and I sold it, the price will go down. I reckon that's in the market down.
What's the current market cap for Bitcoin? Let me have a look. But yeah,
it's 514 billion.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, definitely would have an effect.
My view on this is it's just the beginning for BTC. I expect more downside pressure soon, especially in September, and then even a bit beyond. This is how the market always moves before pre-halving. You know what I mean? We spent majority of this year, kind of going up. I mean, we had that huge rally at the beginning of the year. Everybody was screaming, "Oh, coins is here!" Rally pre-halving rally is here, which I don't think is just here quite yet. But as Ricardo said before, the heat map for BTC, September is just not a good time for BTC. I think we're gonna see some more downside pressure in September. And if we were to discuss what's really causing this, we could just say it's a seasonal correction. I mean, there's just no that much liquidity in the market. You have the S&P 500, which is a low risk asset that's correcting itself. Why won't BTC do the same thing? It's a high risk asset. You know what I mean? The cost of borrowing is still high. You know what I mean? Feds are not cutting rates, so I don't see what's to be super bullish on. I'm buying BTC, but I'm not doing the majority of my book buy just yet. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what is to be super bullish on. It's not like there's an announcement saying SpaceX just bought another boatload of Bitcoin. That's not what it did. There's speculation that they might have sold. So yeah, I'm expecting more over the next couple months. But yeah, man, just obviously, so also an opportunity for people to obviously buy in and obviously accumulate some more BTC wherever they can, however much they can buy. But yeah, I think we're in for interesting times right now.
Yeah, I think Ricardo, what you were saying in terms of it being reported or widely covered is predominantly because it's been moving sideways for the past 6 months, as you said. And in reality, you know, when you've seen like 20 plus, I don't know what the biggest drop I've seen is, but probably high 20s, if not 30. But yeah, when you've seen wild swings like that. Say again?
You've seen 30s.
Yeah, I probably have. I've seen that much. I don't even remember. But yeah, let's say 30 plus. When you've seen that in like a short space of time, seeing a 10 or 11% correction is kind of just shrugs your shoulders at it because you've kind of been there before. And it's not really that impactful. But the question is, is it gonna, you know, keep going sideways or is it gonna go down again? And looking at the historical data, it looks like September isn't a good time, like Deji said. So there might be more down pressure. You might see Bitcoin head towards sort of 20K or 21K in that sort of region. And then from there, we'll be interested to see whether it stabilizes or goes down further before we head into the halving.
Would you buy Bitcoin at 20K?
100%. I'll buy Bitcoin now.
Without a question. You will buying at this prices. 20K, 21K, 19K, 18K, it will be bought. It has to.
I hear that.
Well, would you not buy Bitcoin at 20K?
Or I'm happy buying Bitcoin now. I'm happy buying Bitcoin at 26. I hear that it will go down, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just not.
Yeah, I'm not saying people should time it. I'm just, you know.
Yeah, of course. But like in 3 years' time, you know, we're talking about this, and you know, Bitcoin is like, you know, 250K each. We'll be like, oh, did you buy at 25 or 20, 26 or 20?
It's true.
And it'll be like,
I was just thinking back to like some of the previous times. I remember when we were working together, and like Bitcoin, I think it might have been just in this like rally just before like the majority of people started to get into it in like the mainstream. And I think it might have been going from like 3K to like 20K. And I remember I think we went out for like a networking thing one time. It was in like South London. I don't know if you remember it. And then we went in, and I can't remember what the price was. It might have been like 13K or something. We came out, it was like 18K or something like that, or 15K. And I was like, wait, is this thing broken? Is CoinMarketCap all right? Or is there a mistake here? Because yeah, it's crazy. So when you look back at that, and it's like, okay, if you ask the question then, would you buy Bitcoin at 18K? And at that time it was you know, all-time high or whatever, you'd be like, no, it's all-time high. But now, you know, 26K is or even 20K looks attractive.
definitely.
That's all relevant.
Those are the days there where you look at your phone and you look at the price and you look at your portfolio, no matter how much Bitcoin you have, and you just see like every minute or every hour, you just see it multiplying. Yeah, I remember that day. It was up. Yeah, it was mad. It was mad.
Yeah, exactly. But talking about like crashes and Bitcoin, I want to know from both of you, what's the worst ever crash that you've experienced, and like describe what it felt like, and also what was your approach to it at the time?
I'm gonna go first. You want to go first?
No, go for it.
One of the worst crashes I've been, one of the worst crashes for me in crypto has to be the ICO crash, where back then, 2017, it was so easy to like invest money in ICOs, and then you'll be seeing the maddest return. You'll put in like 10K on ICO, and then within like 3-4 days, you have the tokens, and then you'll be up 7-10x. Like you literally holding someone else's salary in your wallet, and then at the back of my mind, obviously, of me being new to crypto, I mean, not new to crypto, but just obviously new as an active investor, my thing was, this can go higher, this can go higher. And that was my philosophy for every other ICO I did. You know what I mean? Some of them I can't even name right now. I mean, I can't even remember any of the names because they're all irrelevant now. Anyway, fast forward months later, I think, obviously, BT had a heavy correction. What do we think? Oh, it's just a dip, bad a dip. bought the dip, crashed again, bought more dip, crashed again. And then where the pain really set in is when I realized BTC was going through like a heavy correction, that it wasn't gonna like bounce back as it usually does, was when altcoins now started bleeding. And you know when altcoins started bleeding, it bleeds heavily. And guess what was bleeding? The ICO bags. And I tell you, them ICO bags now, right? Oh my lord. Some of them are not even on exchanges no more. They've been delisted. Some of them don't even exist. I remember there was some neo ICOs. I can't remember the names of them, but that's how irrelevant they are today, because I guess they'll just give it prejudice, but it was peak because I could have cashed that real, like actual cash, and like obviously just reinvest that into BTC, or even just hold it in stables, or just cash that actual cash. But I didn't, because I thought, yeah, it's gonna go to $1. It's gonna go to $1. No, it's gonna go $2. And then it never did. It never did. And obviously, how I saved up portfolio was essentially whatever was left consolidated into BTC and ETH, and just held that through the following cycle. But yeah, man, moral of the story is, what goes up must come down, and then just always have a plan. Like, there's no way something will keep going on forever. It's impossible. So yeah, that's my painful
It's impossible, but sometimes it feels like it. I'm not gonna lie. And what makes it worse, yeah? What makes it worse is, like, for example, I remember in the last market cycle, when I invested in it was Matic at the time, before it became Polygon.
Oh, Matic, yeah.
Yeah, and it was pretty early. I think it was like 30 cents or so. So I'm like, okay, and I think I exited at like 80. So I was like, yeah, done like a 2.5x or whatever. And then we all know where it went to. So I'm seeing guys celebrate that it's going to, what did it go to, like $4 or $2?
Yeah, $4 something. I remember that because I did the same thing. I did exactly the same thing you did. I bought Matic low, and then I bought it and I sold almost too quickly. I think I sold like a week after. Man, I didn't even get no gains, bro. Like, it was peak, because Matic just exploded to the roof. I remember watching it go to $4, and then I was like, listen, it's gone. Obviously now it's back down, and obviously it's also good now. Obviously not right now, but I think the time to reinvest in Matic will come again. But yeah, that was also another painful story. In the last, that's just the previous cycle, by the way. Just the previous one. Not even 2017. It's the previous one.
Exactly. Only a year or two ago. So it just goes to show. I think we might have to do a segment in the next show about profit taking strategies and what you've learned and
Dude, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. Ricardo, what about you? What was the most or the worst?
Alright, so you know what? Like, I shared that Bitcoin heat map, which I found about a couple weeks ago, and I was thinking, like, we've lived through some mad down markets. Like, in January 2018, the whole market crashed 73.5%. And that's what Deji was talking about. ICOs, like the bubble popping, and the whole year it was just bleeding. But last year in January, it also dropped 64.4%. But I don't know, I didn't really feel those drops as much as I felt the drop. Like, the biggest drop that made the most gains for me and the most sense for me was March 2020. Like, I remember, yeah, because I was active. Like, it was lockdown just hit. Like, my contracts, like my work contracts were slowing down, ending that month. So I was like, cool, I've got hella time. So I was watching the markets heavily. And bro, like, when you're looking at something and your heart's just sinking. So I'm looking at the price. I remember I was on Coinbase on their Pro, and I'm looking at their charts, and I'm just seeing red candle after red candle on the hourly. And like, it just kept going and going. And I'm like, at this point, the day before I bought some, but I didn't buy that much. I bought, at the time it was like a couple Bitcoin. And I'm seeing the market go down and down, and I'm starting to fret, but like, I still had cash reserves, and I'm like, yo, is this it? And then you go online and you see all the flood, and it's like the whole market's dead, everything's dead, Bitcoin's dying again. And at this point, I'm like, ETH and BTC maximalist. So I'm like, that's all I had money in. A couple alts, but like not much. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I see the market going down and down, and bro, I just started hearing like all these voices in my head: be greedy when others are fearful. Buy now, buy low, sell high. So I think it got down. Bitcoin got down to about $8,000, $8K. I think it was all the way up from about 30. I can't remember. And I was like, oh, you know what? And in pounds, that was like £6,000. I think it dropped down to like 5K pounds. But like when I saw like a green candle, I was like, fuck it, it's not dead. Fuck it, I'm gonna jump back in. So I jumped in and I bought a bunch of Bitcoin, and that's been like the most gain I've ever made from crypto. It was just based on that March initial. The market's tanked, and I'm just gonna go in. And yeah, because like it happened like, you know what? I'm even looking at this, and it says it was 25% that, but it wasn't. Like, I guess what this is taking into consideration is at the start of the month, like at the start of March, let's say price was 30 grand, and at the end of the month, the price might have been like 25 grand. But during that month, like it went from 30 to 5. You know what I mean?
Okay. Wait, was this during the lockdown periods?
Yeah, bro. Like when lockdown just was.
Yeah, I remember it clearly, man. I remember that clearly. I remember
that vividly. I'm not gonna lie. When that happened, I thought the world was about to end. I was like, yo,
100%.
crypto. I thought crypto it's been nice, but I don't know how you got it.
I thought like, you know, at least like, you know, if it was just the crypto market going down, I'd have been like, nah, I'm still gonna go in. But it was everything.
Oil was going negative, and everything was crashing, and I was like, my mind was rattled. I was just like,
100%, 100%.
Like, I've been, yeah, it did. I've been normally like, I built resilience to like market crashes and whatever, and I know that, you know, it will always come back up. Generally speaking, depending on obviously what we're talking about, but if we're talking about Bitcoin, it's got that history and the brand, etc. For that to be the case, but when that happened, I was like, I don't know. It really shook me. I think the only other time, go on.
No, go, continue, bro. Continue, bro.
Yeah, the only other time that I would say I've had that feeling is when I sort of first got into Bitcoin. So first time I got into Bitcoin was late 2013 / early 2014.
Nice.
I heard about it on like BBC News, and I think it was on this rally to 1,000 for the first time. So it was getting a bit of publicity, but it was still very early. Not many people knew about it. The only places you could actually buy at the time were like Mt. Gox and local Bitcoins. No, I don't think Coinbase at the time. I think Coinbase was shortly afterwards. But yeah, or if Coinbase was available, I don't know if it was available in the UK. So yeah, so I bought some Bitcoin, and it went from like 1,000 down to like 150. So yeah, that was crazy. But I bought it all back on the way up because I was like, okay, it's at 150. I'll buy it under 100, and then it never went under 100. Then it started going up, and around $400 or so, I bought some. So yeah, so around that time, it was probably the first exposure I had to like a crazy swing. I was like, damn, this is insane. But I didn't obviously foresee what it would become at that point.
Basically, moral of the story of this segment is, I mean, when you see red, when you see fear, you be greedy, fam. Like that was a pro move by Ricardo. Obviously, seeing that Black Swan event triggered BTC to crash, scooping up BK and BTC at 3-4K. That's beautiful prices. You know what I mean? I think any whale out there will be happy to scoop up more BTC at that price range. And 72 Harris, I feel like that price range where you started obviously investing in BTC, I think you didn't let that crash that 85% reset. Obviously, like deter you. You believed in BTC. I think everyone on this channel obviously has a fundamental belief in BTC being decentralized, being the store of value of money, that kind of stuff. And obviously, it's a high risk asset, but at the same time, there's a lot of gains to be made. So I feel like, you know, I mean, more of the story is to just like wherever you see fear, be greedy and don't let that change your mindset, because you experience a massive crash. These things tends to always correct itself back. And yeah, man, I think those will be for me by EG.
Yeah, I agree, especially when it comes to Bitcoin. With some of the altcoins, I don't think that necessarily applies because you can be like, okay, I'll be greedy. You're the only one being greedy, and nobody cares about it anymore. You become exit liquidity, and then you're wrecked. So you don't want to be that guy. But yeah, definitely when it comes to Bitcoin, Ethereum, yeah, definitely a thing that applies there for sure. And speaking of crashes and Bitcoin, how do you think Bitcoin is going to react in the recession? I think Germany and Netherlands, definitely in the Netherlands, but I think Germany as well officially said they're in a recession. All intents and purposes, UK is more or less in a recession. I don't think it's official yet, but we can see with the way that cost of living is going and everything, inflation and whatnot. It appears as though it will be heading that way soon enough, and the US isn't in a recession just yet, but it's probably
it will be soon.
Yeah, exactly. So the only thing that, like, for a lot of things, I can have confidence because I can say, okay, it might have dropped 20% in a day, but it's done that like 10 times, no problem. It's I've now seen a black solar event. I know that in all likelihood it'll bounce back. So there's like historical precedent for these things, but the only thing there isn't historical precedent for is a recession. So how do you think that Bitcoin is going to react when the first recession hits, especially the US?
You want to go, Rick?
Yeah. I mean, historical evidence for Bitcoin in a recession. Like Bitcoin was born out of a recession in 2008. That's when that white paper came out and Satoshi did what he did, and then a shitcoin came out every 15 seconds after. But in terms of I guess we've not been in a recession as bad as 2008 in Bitcoin's life yet, but there's been, I guess there's been recessions, but not global recessions. So I don't know. I think in terms of how it will affect price, I think everything will bleed. I think the whole market will just bleed. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm curious to hear your opinions. I feel like there's literally all indications point to the price going down until some event where things start to ease and interest rates start to ease and the stock market and all the other assets start to recover. But yeah, you just never know, man.
I agree with you 100%, Ricardo. I think obviously BTC being born in a recession does not mean that it will be recession resilient. I think a lot of the idiots on Twitter are going to screaming for BTC and bull season or whatever, or altcoin bull season. They're actually out of their mind. Like, once recession kicks in, obviously the reports in UK is from the private sector that recession's already kicked in. I mean, just matter of fact, it's just like look at Wilco's closing down. There's so many other small private sectors that are closing down. Recession just around the corner, and BTC and crypto, BTC being a high risk asset, it will fall. I see definitely like retesting that 52-week low, which is around like 14K, 15K. And obviously, if we're lucky to scoop some, that would be great. And I think all coins are even going to bleed. I think last time I checked today, I think the altcoin market cap is around like 260 billion. I mean, all the recent gain it had in July is basically given all up again, and now it's back to 216. I see it going maybe a bit below 200 billion. So altcoins will bleed heavily, even more than BTC. But I see BTC going back down to be testing that 52-week low from the double bottom at the bottom, and then probably now slowly kind of rise up again from there. But yeah, I just don't see what it is to be super bullish on. There is nothing to be bullish on. Like, it's not like the ETF has been accepted. There's no one buying BTC out of mind. I think BlackRock's probably the only one that's buying BTC because they got a boatload of money. But at the same time, I think they will probably even ease up their buying once they see that, okay, cool, there's definitely a correction coming in soon as well. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is it. I think it's coming home. It's coming home.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with both of what you guys were saying. I think that it's going to be interesting to see how the Fed in America is going to tackle inflation if it starts rising again. I've heard rumors that it may start rising. It might be like a double-dip recession over there. But in terms of like the recession, the only good thing for Bitcoin is obviously the halving is coming up soon. So when the halving happens, then obviously it becomes more scarce, and it's gonna.
The halving is not until next year, Harris.
Yeah, I understand it, but what I'm saying is, by that time, if say the US is in a recession, the only thing that might counteract the downward pressure of a recession is the halving. Unless there's another catalyst event, which we're obviously unaware of now. But so far, that's the only positive I see happening. But I think up until that point, it might be a lot more choppy than we've seen it. It's obviously been, with the exception of this downward turn, very static and just moving sideways. But yeah, I think we might get more volatility moving into next year. So yeah, that's kind of how I see it.
And just to kind of add to your point, Aris, I feel like obviously this is not financial advice to our viewers at home, but I feel like my strategy obviously in this is to obviously keep buying. As it even if it goes down, I'll keep buying. But the thing is, with most people that don't have like deep pockets, when you keep doing this year, you eventually run out of cash. And then when that major crash happens, you might run out of cash reserve. So it's always good to obviously understand what your strategy is, and then not telling people what to do here, but maybe people should be careful how they spend, and then maybe keep some cash reserve for that major knockdown, which is due to come. We don't know when, we don't know how it's going to happen, but it will happen. I mean, history tends to always repeat itself. And yeah, that's just my thoughts on that one.
Do you guys keep like major cash when we're talking about crypto investing? Do you keep cash, like a cash reserve for these type of events that may happen, or do you just DCA, or what's your strategy when it comes to that?
Both. I have a hot wallet that has stables, so I can just use that to DCA every week or every month, and then you have an actual cash to obviously, let's say you see BTC at 15K, you load up that wallet ASAP and just cop as much as you can. So yeah, that is my personal strategy.
Bro, I've got money in my account, which I probably shouldn't have. Exchanges get hacked all the time. But yeah, no, I have money on my account ready, waiting for the day. If Bitcoin drops 35% tomorrow, like I'm in. Like I don't have to transfer money to this place and then this place. Like it's in there, and it's just waiting. And sometimes I think, let me move it out. But yeah, no, it's in there, and it's in pounds. Like it's not even in a stable; it's in currency. So the day that it happens, because for me, I don't know, I feel like that's the biggest swing that you can make on crypto. When the market drops like these mad higher double-digit percentages over the course of like a day or two, like that's it. Like that's my signal that if that happens, I don't care what I'm doing, bro. I could be in the middle of changing my son. Let's go. I'm buying this coin today. You know what I mean? So yeah, I got
fully hear you.
But there's usually crumbs. There's usually like signals that the market's got to fall. I mean, I'm not talking about what just happened. I mean, BTC kind of obviously dropping 11% is not signaling that the BTC is about to tank to its 52-week low. But there's always usually that sign here and there that there is a meltdown coming, and it's just up to you to obviously prepare accordingly. So yeah, it just depends on your risk appetite, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm super high risk. But you see the days, the times where there's signals and there's like a lead up to the price periodically dropping over a period of time, that's like more obvious. Like the things I'm looking for are, like all these crazy things that has happened over the years, like flash crashes. Like you both remember that Coinbase flash crash where Bitcoin went down to like £1.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember.
Yep.
Like in my head, that's why that money's already there. Like obviously, I'll buy it periodically, but like it's for them events where it's like.
But do you have all the
Yeah, go on.
Have you placed orders, or are you like, is it just sitting in?
I haven't placed orders, but it'll be
Rick,
curious to see like what Coinbase's order book looks like actually.
Rick, the only way for you to catch a flash crash, you will not be able to wait to see it. The only way to do is to set buy orders at $1 or $2. Well, you
I hear
know,
that.
I think
$5.
I don't know I don't know if Coinbase will honor that purchase, because they'll be like, oh, it was a system API meltdown failure.
Wait,
Yeah,
definitely
uh, purchase cancelled.
Man. I'll take my Bitcoin, transfer it out, and be on my way, bro. I'm moving to Mexico.
No, I don't blame you. It's a good idea actually, having it in cash in the exchange. I suppose the only thing you have is exchange risk.
Yeah,
So it just depends on how much you trust the exchanges that you're using. But assuming that they're solid enough to execute on your plan, then it's a good move. And the only reason why I think it's a good move is because we've all been there when the price is tanked and it's keep on tanking, and you're trying to get money to an exchange, and everybody's trying to do the same thing. The thing is just backing up. You just see an error. The backend guy is probably throwing water on his laptop because he doesn't know what to do. It's just a mad thing. So yeah, I don't blame you. It makes a lot of sense. But yeah, let's talk about some hidden gems. So this week we're gonna do something slightly different. So before the show, because it can be quite difficult finding hidden gems, because that's why they're hidden gems. Nobody knows what they are until obviously they start to increase in value. So I use the help of AI to see whether these coins I'm about to name are going to be gems.
What AI is this? What AI is this, Harris?
So this AI is from a tool called Tokenmetrics. And Tokenmetrics is a tool that helps you. Yeah. So for those who don't know, Tokenmetrics is a platform that helps you analyze the market and also make decisions based on analysis. And they use AI as well. So they have a chatbot which feeds into their data, and I asked the chatbot a very specific query. And the query was, give me some I think I said crypto tokens that are under 30 million in market cap that are hidden gems. And these are the 4 tokens that it mentioned. So at $10 million, there's a token called ARGA, which is a token ticker REP. ARGO.
REP.
Yeah. REP is the ticker. The investment grade is 75.7%. So the team looked at the project, and that's what they've rated it. Let's take a look and see what you guys think. What does it do first and foremost?
Before we even get there, I'm just looking at it's on all major exchanges, and for me that's like a big win. Like I see it on Kraken, Bittrex, OKX, Gate.io, Crypto.com.
So, yeah, exactly. Your top exchange.
Yeah, it's liquid. Auger's been around for a while though.
Okay. How long's it been around?
2016.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I'm looking at the charts now. It's looking like it topped its most previous high was in 2018 at $106, and in the recent bull market, it only reached 52. So, interesting. I mean, it's definitely a hidden gem, as you can see. Like at $1.13, the gain here is at least minimum 20x. So, I can see why the AI will obviously recommend this. But looking at the description of the project, it's looking like it's basically a coin that basically harness the wisdom of the crowd through prediction markets on a protocol owned and operated by the owners of Ethereum-based reputation token. So it's basically a reputation token, and it's obviously the majority of it is driven by the community. Total supply is 11 million. Everything's already released into circulation. So I don't know if it's go back to its 2018 high or its 2021 high. Well, it's definitely one that could definitely pump in the next run. So definitely one to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah. I looked on the website. It looks like it's like a betting platform. your global no limit betting platform, and I'm guessing it's a betting platform when you use rep on as currency on the platform.
Interesting. I think. Well, I didn't know that it already had all that previous history. I thought it was a new token.
No, it's not.
And maybe I should
It's not. It's not.
specify that. I'll specify that next time we do this. But yeah, the fact that it's been around since 2016 and it's kind of peaked, and they didn't go beyond that in this last bull market, unless they've had some significant change. I'm not too sure that it will actually do anything significant in the next one, but subject to
You don't think
more.
you don't think it will pump at all in the next one? Not even a 10x from
No, I mean,
$1 to 10.
I mean, when there's a tsunami, there's waves. So
There you go.
if the market rises, then it will rise. But is it rising because the market's rising, or is it rising because it's a great project? Like
It's rising because the market's rising. I mean, I don't know about this being a great project.
Exactly.
So,
the question is it going to outperform Bitcoin? That's the real question.
Well, actually, it's possible, but we'll see.
In terms of percentages, or maybe let's say Ethereum, because that's got more room for growth. But yeah, if the case is no, then it's probably not worth doing. And if it's yes, then it's probably worth having a look at. But as it stands, just from a quick look, it's not something that I personally would be delving into too much. But yeah, it's an interesting first pick from the AI. Let's take a look at the second one. The second one is called Quiz Talk. The ticker is QTCon. The market cap is really low, it's 12 million. What I might also do in the next one is say lower than 30, higher than say 20 or something. I need to be a bit more specific with the AI. But so the market cap is 12 million, and the investor grade is 74%. So let's see what they do.
I mean, this is a service. This is a chatbot service that delivers quiz content across various messengers. I mean, it's on Bithumb, Gate.io, Upbit. I mean, these are not like my type of exchanges, but they're not bad. I have an account with Gate.io. Bithumb is obviously, I know you guys are familiar with that one. But yeah, this is definitely a new one. Irish, this is definitely a brand new coin. I mean, well, I won't say brand new coin. I mean, incepted in 2021.
Yeah,
May. Yeah, so
it's
interesting.
been around since 2019.
No, the data here on my screen shows it goes as far back as May 2021. So that's interesting.
Are you on CoinGecko?
No, I'm on CoinMarketCap.
Oh, okay. On CoinGecko, it's just 19, so I'm not sure.
Okay, interesting.
Wait. Hold on. Let me just throw up a massive red flag here. So I hit the website link from CoinMarketCap to go to Quiz Talk, and I'm getting a 403 forbidden. Like, there's no website.
That's not good.
I'm stepping away from this one, mate.
Officially a dead project. Okay. Let's move swiftly on to the next one. We've got two more. DFI Money. Ticker is YFII.
DFY.
70 million. DFII.
Okay. This isn't DFII. Ooh, I can't even see no history on this project.
Yeah.
Let me see. That's already a red flag. Well, yeah, send me a link. Oh, CoinGecko.
Let me check CoinGecko, because there's nothing on CoinMarketCap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this history on CoinGecko goes back to 2020.
What?
It looks better than some of the other ones.
$427. Interesting.
Yeah, but it depends on what the supply is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't even find it. The Delta Yankee Indigo.
Wait. This is on Binance.
No. Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, this is on Binance. Why?
No, it's not. It's on.
This is the wrong thing then.
Well, which one are you looking at?
I'm just looking at DFI money, YFII. That's the link you
YFII.
sent me.
Yeah, I'll send you guys a link again. 1 second.
Yeah, that's the thing about these some of these tokens, man. I feel like you gotta be unique, and not only does your product have to be obviously useful, you gotta be pretty unique. I think you come and having your token there mixed up with some other trash coins,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean?
It's
Like
true,
Pippin,
but sometimes
Pippin 2, Pippin 3, it's ridiculous.
that's true. But sometimes if you put something out, someone else will create like similar types of things as well. So
Yeah.
it's not necessarily always the token's fault, but often it is because they want to try and monetize the confusion.
Yeah, okay, I see that now. Yeah, $427 per coin. Cool.
Let's take a look at what it actually does. Is it solving a problem?
I don't think it is, but we'll see. Let's see.
All right. So, what is DFI money? DFI money, originally known as YFII, is a yield farming aggregator. This project is a fork of Yearn Finance, but with Yearn Improvement Proposal 8 or YIP 8 implemented. This means that unlike the original YFI protocol, DFI money halves the weekly supply of governance tokens. The governance token can be obtained through yield farming. So it's effectively a governance
fork.
token. Yeah,
So
it's a fork.
it's Yearn Finance with one protocol implemented. Yeah, I'm out, bro. Yearn Finance, one protocol implemented, and a static web page. Yeah,
That's Skim's money grab, man.
Basically. Let's move on to the final one.
Wait, hold on, just this last one. I'm looking at their code and like their main JavaScript code, and it's not been updated since July the 1st, 2022.
Wow.
Probably since the fork, bro. But yeah, all right.
They forked it, added that line of code, and said, "Our job here is done." So the last one is ADX, which is ADX.
Ooh, that sounds familiar.
It does sound familiar, innit?
Sounds a bit familiar still. ADX, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
This sounds like something that was. It sounds like an exchange launched on Cardano, or let's see. Wait, hold on,
It was launched in 2017.
Okay, it's a cutting-edge Web3 marketing platform utilizing blockchain and programmatic advertising to elevate digital marketing.
I think
originated in 2017. Yeah, I'm sure of so this is one of the shill coins from the last bull run. But yeah, I mean, it looks interesting. Let's jump into the price action. I mean, nothing too exciting here. Market cap is 18, but good exchanges though. I think that's one of the good things about this. Listed recently on Binance US. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm having a look at the community. Community is kind of small on Discord. There's 3,600. It's not that active.
Yeah, Harris, this coin as well, obviously, inception was 2017. So, I mean, and then obviously since 2017, it hasn't reached its all-time high again. Its previous all-time high in 2017 was, let's see, $3.14. In 2021, bull run, $1.75. And then that's it. That's all she wrote. And now we're below 13 cents. So I'm not sure about this one, but
yeah, I don't really like the use case as well. Even despite the fact that it was launched a while ago, like crypto and like advertising on the blockchain.
Yeah. I think it sounds like gimmick, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a very weak use case in my opinion.
Let me share my red flag.
Go ahead.
So
we should have that as a segment.
I was just looking through Coin Market Cap, and I'm like, oh cool, there are some good exchanges that's strong. Then I was like, all right, cool, let me check out their GitHub. I checked out their GitHub. I'm seeing all of the projects, you know, they've been updated like recently, like 2 hours ago, 36 minutes ago, last week. The wallet's been updated last week. But then, like, I go to people, and there's like one member in the organization, and I go to his GitHub profile, and on here it's like building aerospace and blockchain open source projects. Bro, you're doing this as a hobby. I'm out.
Yeah.
I think we're all out on that one. So that was a very interesting one. I think for the next time we do it, I'll have more strict parameters and see if we can find some higher quality projects. We've seen it used quite successfully, so we'll see. Maybe we'll pick an industry, and maybe we'll give better parameters around the market cap and different things like that. But that was very interesting, and this is the end of the pod. See us in the next one, and yeah, we'll see you guys soon.